What's up, everybody? JS here. Welcome back to the Geeks and Company, and welcome to the Prop Shop. Today we're revisiting a cosplay that I did, I want to say about 3 or 4 years ago. One of my first cosplays I did at a big con, which is the Red Hood. So this is a Arkham Knight style chest plate that I built for my Red Hood costume. My helmet, all foam. Oh, my batarangs here. The batarangs were obviously added after the fact. But this is 100% foam construction. I wore this along with a pair of cargo pants, weapons strapped around my legs, and then a brown military style shell over the top with, my sleeves rolled up a la Red Hood. But with the brand new Matt Reeves The Batman movie coming out this weekend, which was amazing. We saw it Friday night. Wicked movie. I wanted to revisit this cosplay a little bit, not just because I don't fit in it anymore, but because I actually haven't worn it in many, many years. So I figured, you know what? Why not upgrade the costume, make it a little bit different? And with the Batman coming out this weekend, I figured, why not make this a Red Hood out of the Matt Reeves The Batman world? So this is where we're at so far. So this morning, I did some shopping. I got a brand new jacket for the costume. Red Hood is known to wear a leather style biker jacket. I also bought some vinyl and leather paint so that I can paint these stripes black so they don't look white. On the inside here, just a plain t-shirt, I actually already vinyl cut the brand new Batman emblem out of vinyl. So last night I drew this up, got it cut up on the Cricut machine. So this is going to get pressed on this t-shirt. That's actually the first thing that's going on here. As you can see, this is a much more casual type cosplay. The last time we were at a convention, I was dressed in a full Predator suit. This time, we want to be able to just walk the show and not be in full costume. So this is going to be the basics of the costume. I'm also planning on doing the Batman gauntlets from the Batman movie. So those will be made 100% out of EVA foam. And that's basically going to be the costume. Obviously, helmet's not going to go with this. Although I'm probably not going to be wearing the helmet a lot. I need to do some touch-up on the helmet as well. But I'm probably not going to be wearing it too much. As much as I'll be just carrying it around with me. For those that may not recognize instantly who this is, the helmet should give it away. So stay with us. We're going to be working on this today. First thing we're going to do is we're going to press this vinyl on this t-shirt. Next, we're going to paint the jacket. And after that, I need to do some research on how I'm going to build those gauntlets because I'm sure somebody's already done it. So let's go see what everybody else is doing. Let's take it from there. These are nice. And they're touchscreen. They're good for your phone. Guys, if you're doing any kind of cosplay where you need tactical gloves, check out Amazon. I mean, I know that these are not exactly like the gloves from the Batman, but I mean, for tactical gloves, $22 Canadian, 22 Canadian, and they work on your phone. Yeah, these are wicked. Thanks, Amazon. If you are the kind of person that likes to make your own t-shirts, so you do iron on and that type of stuff, these are indispensable. We've been doing these by eye for the last, I don't know, couple months, and what a pain in the butt doing all this stuff by eye, measuring, trying to figure out is it straight or not. And this, we put it on, we measured, boom, and then we spent, I don't know, 10 minutes refiguring it out, and it was straight and it was bang on, and these are wicked. So if you have a Cricut machine and you do some pressing, get yourself some of these templates. I don't know what they're actually called, but you got to get yourself some of these templates because they are amazing. All right, so now that the t-shirt's done, we're gonna move on to the jacket. Like I said, I wanna get rid of these white stripes. So what I have here is some Leather Studio leather and vinyl acrylic paint in black. So this will let me get rid of those white stripes. Let's get this going and yeah, see if we get to those gauntlets today or not. All right, what's up everybody? This is actually day 2. The jacket's done. It's painted. Maybe I can actually show you. So here we go. No more white stripes on the jacket. This actually looks pretty good. I mean, this is just cheap. It's acrylic leather paint. I've never seen that before. But I mean, for what it's worth, it works all right. So the jacket's done. The t-shirt is already done. We've seen that already. I've been working on the gauntlets. So I downloaded the patterns from Zola's Props. I've had some good success with some of his patterns in the past. For one, his patterns were, I feel, way too small, at least for me. Also weren't exactly what I was looking for. His were way more complicated than I wanted to make mine. So I am now in the process of, redesigning all my patterns. I also I modeled today and 3D printed these little dart things. These little dart things, they go on the top of the gauntlet. Although my gauntlet's not going to be movie accurate by any stretch of the imagination, I liked these little dart things. So, I don't know if you can focus on these. So yeah. So I made one, or I modeled it first of all, and then I printed it. And they came out pretty good. So right now the printer is actually printing 10 more. So it's 5 per gauntlet. So the printer's printing 10 more. While that's going on, instead of sanding and working on this one, which there's no point because I've got 10 more coming anyway, I'm gonna actually work on repatterning my gauntlets. I've got my measurements down. If you folks don't know this technique, this is a great technique when wanting to pattern stuff. Today I am using 6mm foam. So what I did is I cut a strip of 6mm foam, turn it into a ruler. That way, anytime I measure something, I'm getting the actual measurement, including the thickness of the foam. So one of the big problems that a lot of people have is they pattern something using a fabric tape, and then they measure something, and they don't take account the fact that the foam is quite a bit thicker than just a simple fabric tape. So your measurements are off, often by quite a bit. I mean, often off by double the size of your foam. So yeah, made myself a little ruler, took the measurements of my arm. I've got all my measurements here. I'm gonna properly draw everything out, cut it up, transfer it to some foam, start building my gauntlets. I also have some nylon webbing, I guess is what you call this stuff. Specifically for what the pieces of straps that stick out of the gauntlet. But in the movie, the back gauntlets don't have fins like the typical gauntlets do. The fins are actually the pull straps from his gauntlets that are sticking out. So I've got this for those pull straps. I'm also gonna use, I've got more of this. I'm gonna use this to actually strap and Velcro the gauntlet to my arm. I've also got some elastic band, and the elastic band will go on the inside of the gauntlet. The gauntlet is basically gonna go together like this, right? And then it's gonna clamshell on one side, and it's gonna have elastic bands holding it together. And on the other side, it's gonna have 3 straps made out of this that are gonna look like they're sticking out from the other side. I don't know how to get this going here, but yeah, so that's what I'm doing today. But I'd still like to get my patterns all done by the end of tonight, because Comicon is less than 2 weeks away. So I gotta get a move on, I gotta get these done. I know a lot of people right now are gonna say, what do you mean, JS? You know, it takes you 2 weeks to build a set of gauntlets. What can I say? You know, it's taking me the time that it's taken me. I know some of you guys are pumping out, 3 or 4 cosplays in the span of 2 weeks. But, this is where we're at. Let's get going on these gauntlets. all printed out. I printed them out on a raft. I haven't snapped them off yet. But like I said the other day, I modeled all of these. The tips here, they're printed all screwed up. And I mean, that should sand fairly easily, but not sure what I did wrong here. Maybe I should have slowed the print down a little bit when I got to the top, but otherwise they printed really nice. I don't think they're going to be a ton of sanding, but yeah. So these are ready to go. My base gauntlets are cut. And then I'm going to start building on top of this. And I got a lot of what I need, so hopefully I can move along quick on these. So I went to Michael's to pick up some foam, and unfortunately they didn't have the 4mm foam that I was looking for. So I bought some extra 6mm foam because I did run out of this stuff yesterday. So I figured, you know what, while I'm there, I might as well buy some of that. This is the regular, it's called Art Minds EVA foam roll that they sell at Michael's here. I know in the US they have access to the Yayahan foam, which I want to believe it's the same foam, just branded differently. So because I don't have any 4mm foam, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some 2mm foam and I'm going to double it up, and I'm going to use that as my 4mm foam. So let's get working on that. That's going to be for my top layer of my bracers. So let's start cutting some foam, gluing it together, and then getting all those pieces set up. All right, well, it looks like you folks missed out on a lot here. Obviously, I was not friggin' recording. So I cut these yesterday, cut these today, made my pattern out. What I also did at the back here is I cut some V-grooves, and I hate that you didn't get to see that because I thought I did pretty well on these for this time. You usually have a hard time with V-grooves, but I cut V-grooves into this to give me a nice actual edge there. So I've got more of an edge now. And then I cut this all out, getting ready to glue this on with contact cement. A little goes a long way. It looks like you're putting a lot on, but you want a very, very thin layer on. These areas where you see where there's more, that's not good. That's because it wasn't spread out properly on here. You want it to almost disappear once it's drying. And then it's instant bond. It sticks immediately. So yeah, so you're gonna see me apply this on. Again, I hate that you didn't see any of this process. We are actually like day 3. I've had very, very little time to work on these. So I haven't gotten a lot of work done, but basically this is where we're at. So first of all, both bracers are patterned. This one's cut and pretty much assembled. We get the straps and the tiddly bits and the stuff that needs to go on. But the darts are printed. They need to be sanded. The base gauntlet is basically done. Yeah, I'm just gonna start getting to work. So the last time you actually saw these, they didn't look like these at all. As you can see, I've added some bits and I've actually painted them. These things here, well, I just 3D printed. I just very quickly modeled in Tinkercad and 3D printed these pieces and very quickly painted them. So I didn't bother showing any of this stuff. If you want to know how to actually finish foam like this, as far as the techniques used and all that stuff, I think we're going to have a couple video series specifically showing that. I didn't have time to start getting into that for this video or for this build, just because Comicon is literally now around the corner. I need to get these done. The dogs are getting the zoomies and they want to play. So yeah, so that's where we're at. I should have the darts finished painting tomorrow, and then we'll put the final touch on them. The darts, the elastic bands, super glue everything on. We'll be good to go. These have been a disaster. I put on my gloss black base coat on here, and yeah, the paint didn't stick, so I had to send them all back down. And now I'm hoping that using my All-Clad 2 lacquer instead of silver spray paint, this will actually stick to the varnish. Sorry, in case I didn't make myself clear, I put the gloss black base on here, and then when I sprayed my silver on, the silver bubbled. The silver didn't want to stick at all. So sending them down, starting over. I'm going to do a little bit of airbrushing here tonight. These are really the last things that I need to get done so that I can get my The Batman gauntlets done. So let's get this done tonight. So all I did was clean up here, and these are already dry. Now I could have done a way better job on these, from the sanding to the filling to the painting, but you know what? We are now 3 days away from the con. I need to get these done, so screw it. That's what they're going to be. They're going to go on the gauntlets right now, and I'm not going to film the process of me gluing them on. I'm just going to glue them on the gauntlets with the super glue, and then after the fact, I'm going to run the rubber band in the cracks here that I'm going to also glue. So we're actually a couple days into the build now. 4 days. This is day 5, really, of the build. We're actually going to take a break, but I got my buddy Rob here, who is partly responsible for this whole build in the first place. We had originally decided that we were going to go to Comicon and not dress up, just so that we can actually go and enjoy the con. Walk the floor, meet some people, drink some beers, have some fun. Mr. over here let loose on the podcast a couple weeks ago that he had a backup plan for a costume where I had nothing prepared. And after we watched the Matt Reeves Batman movie, he actually told me that he had ordered the jacket and the masks. Now, did you cancel those orders?
No, I bought one off of Etsy, and I was concerned that it wouldn't arrive quick enough because I got so excited. I jumped to the internet. I'm buying stuff. I bought it from the States. It turned out shit from the States. And then I thought, you know what? Oshawa's got a really great military surplus store. Mm-hmm. So I went there last weekend, and I scoured the whole place. And
they had the mask.
On my third pass, I found the mask.
The jacket as well. This is an Army jacket.
Yeah, the whole reason I went to an Army surplus store was to find the jacket, to be honest with you. That's all I went there for, and I scoured the place probably for half an hour, and they had a lot of interesting stuff there, but I was trying to find something that matched the best I could. Key was the pocket. It has a high breast pocket.
Yeah, because this is not the exact jacket from the movie.
No.
And to be honest, I mean, like, I don't think we're here to be movie accurate, right? Like,
no, for this one, because it was a 2-week build, essentially.
Yeah.
I'm just looking to have some fun, right? We don't plan on going the whole time in costume, so I just wanted to do something cheap and have fun. And
so you have the mask.
I do. So I bought, like I said, I ended up buying 2 masks.
Oh, right. Oh, wait, did you get both of them?
I got both of them. So I thought the one was going to take way too long to get,
and then it showed up early.
So are they the same? So I have the mask right here. So this is actually a United States Army cold weather mask. The thing that they did for the movie, I can tell. So this is, like I said, this is a cold weather mask. It's got this insert. But what they did for the movie, I believe, is they've taken this out. Because if you look at the scenes of the Riddler, you don't see all this white mask. It's just they've probably removed the stitching and taken all that out.
Right.
It's a professional movie budget, right? I wasn't going to do that for my build.
I don't know if anybody can actually confirm this, but there's a lot of pictures online of the Riddler where he's wearing his jacket and the mask, and he's got the question mark thing on the jacket. But I don't know that he had that in the movie. Now, I think the idea here is to paint it on the jacket, because whether he had it in the movie or not, it'll be a little bit more recognizable as the Riddler, I think, if the question mark is on there. I think people will make the connection even if they haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, faster.
Yeah.
When you Google the Riddler, like these images do pop up and they're associated with them, but whether or not they're official, we're not sure.
Like if you look at the action figures, you look at the statues, they all have the question mark on him, even though I don't think that that's actually in the movie. So we're still going to do that. We're going to look at some pictures. We're going to lay it out on the jacket. We're going to paint it on. We're just going to use some basic, very cheap white acrylic paint.
That's all we need.
It'll eventually flake off, but it'll add to the effect. Yeah, so we're just going to paint it right on.
The other thing that I really like about this, especially when it comes to making the cosplay, is, and there's going to be a spoiler here, as you see in the movie, he's got like 25 people that show up.
That's a good point.
So if there's 25 people doing this cosplay at the
it'll work.
It'll actually work. It'll fit right in. So it doesn't matter that I'm not movie accurate, because maybe I'm just one of the guys in the background. Like they weren't movie accurate. You're just one
of the shooters from
the end of the movie. Random shooters. So that's why I think it works, and I'm going to be able to pull it off.
Yeah. So, all right. Perfect.
Let's get started.
All right, let's do this. Take it off. Well, here we are, about a week later. A week and 2 days later. We started on Monday, really. We're done. Rob had a head start, but that looks really good. I posted him on the RPF Facebook group. Holy cow, that post exploded in no time. Like in a day, it had 800 likes.
That's crazy. That's way more than I expected.
Yeah, so that's going to be a hit. My revised Red Hood is done. My gauntlets are now done.
I love these darts. You did a good job. I like them.
Yeah, and I didn't really film the process of finishing them because I wasn't going to finish them, like finish them. I want to make a proper video where I'm finishing 3D parts to look perfect. This wasn't going to be that, so I didn't want to film the process there. But yeah,
this is the 1 week build.
Yeah, it's the 1 week build, exactly. Yeah. So we're done. So the Red Hood and the Riddler are ready to go for Comicon 2022. First Comicon back in 2 years. Well, 3 years, really.
3 years, I think.
3 years, really, because the last two never happened. So it's going to be a great weekend. If we saw you there, because this video is going to come out after Comic-Con at this point. So if we saw you there, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think. Well, that'll be it for today. Stay geeky, everybody. We'll see you next time.